The long process of desegregation at the University of Texas had its beginning in 1946, when Heman Sweat formally applied to the University of Texas School of Law, where he was denied on racial grounds. Sweat and the NAACP began a lawsuit against the university that culminated in the Supreme Court case Sweat v. Painter in 1950, where the Supreme Court ruled that UT had to admit black law students, since there was no comparable law school for black students in Texas. Although the first black graduate students began to be admitted at UT, it wasn't until 1956 that the first black undergraduates came to the university. Among these first undergraduates was a talented singer named Barbara Smith Conrad. In her first year, Conrad auditioned for and was cast as Dido in the opera Dido and Aeneas. The other lead role was given to a white student who would play her lover. The controversy over portraying an interracial relationship was so great it was discussed on the floor of the Texas legislature before UT President Logan Wilson removed her from the cast. On March 9, 1962, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. came to UT and spoke to a crowd of 1,200 people at the Texas Union Ballroom. King said in his speech, "Old man segregation is on his deathbed. The only question is how expensive the South is going to make the funeral." The next day, the Daily Texan wrote that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a sermon to the audience, and the audience delivered him a standing ovation. Old man segregation may well have been on his deathbed, but at least for a time, segregation at UT persisted, notably in student housing, athletics, and at several businesses near campus. Segregation limited black students in all aspects of life, as mundane things like getting a haircut nearby or going to a movie theater to see a movie assigned for class were made impossible due to the segregation of nearby businesses. Dorm sit-ins and other protests would continue throughout the civil rights era. Athletics remained segregated longer than most other facets of the university. In 1969, the Longhorns were the last all-white team to win the National College Football Championship. The next year, Julius Whittier became the first black player on the Longhorn varsity football team, a major step towards finally ending the reign of old man segregation.